so many different ways. I mean, you initially just talked about, like, in terms of what you said, understanding who you are, trying to get.
Hey, welcome to Social Work Sunday Tea. I am Shakia Houston. It's a great day to be alive and well. It is March 19th. No, not the 19th. It's today the 18th. 18th, 19th, one of those. I think the 18th. Is it the 18th? 19th. It's the 19th. Sorry about that. It's March 19th, 2023. Great day, great day. Make sure you like, subscribe, share. It's gonna be a great topic. I'm really excited about this. And make sure you tune in. Make sure you share, all that good stuff. We have a special guest, Mr. Eric. If you would like to introduce yourself, it'd be greatly appreciated.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this opportunity. For all those that may not know me, I'm Eric Warren, but everybody knows me as EJ. By day, I am a licensed psychotherapist. When I'm not doing that, I'm helping people through coaching and different forms of facilitation and things.
Okay.
Pleased to be able to be here.
Cool. So what made you get into this field, as far as with mental health and helping people, all that good stuff?
Well, my story has been kind of a wild journey, but to kind of put it in a nutshell, I ended up moving. I'm originally born and raised from St. Louis, Missouri. As an adult, I ended up moving out to California, where I started working with what is considered to be the regional center population, where I was helping people that are considered to be developmentally disabled.
Mm-hmm.
And I really enjoyed that, but I knew in order to, do a little more, I was going to have to go to school. And so I ended up doing that, which led me to working working for the Department of Mental Health through a nonprofit where I was a case worker or a case manager.
Okay.
Did that for a little while and was like, you know what? For me to really get good at this, to really find out what is going on with people and being able to have these one-on-one sessions, so on and so forth, I would have to go back to school again. So I ended up going back to school to become a psychotherapist. And since then it's been up.
This is up. So what population is it? Do you have like just preteens or you just everybody?
I work with children for years. Now I'm pretty much individuals, adults, couples, and families.
Okay. Cool. So how has your journey been, like as far as that goes? With
It's been good.
Yeah.
I ain't got no complaints. It's been good. It ain't no dull moments. If you you dealing with mental health, ain't no dull moments. I've heard of therapists being a whole lot of things. Whether you might be tired, you might be fatigued, you might be upset, angry. One thing I've never heard is bored.
No.
Every day is
No.
something's going up. Especially when you're working within the realm of community mental health,
Yeah.
which I did for years. That is always gonna be something's going on.
Oh, always. I was a social worker for a psych facility, so it was a long time. So you already know.
Yeah.
Like they thought I was the warden. And I was like, listen, y'all, and they was like, for you to be y'all pretty, I'm like, listen, but don't push me.
Right.
But yeah, it's a whole different beast. And I think it's never a dull moment, especially in, just dealing with psych and people having behavior, then you gotta go in and come to the rescue.
Right. It's a lot. It's a lot. I actually did when I was when I was in undergraduate school, I worked at a mental health hospital. When
Mm-hmm.
I actually went for my when I was in graduate school, I also worked at a different mental health hospital, so I have experience there too.
Okay. Cool. That's what's up. Never a dull moment. Never,
I
never.
ain't no dog mammals, ain't no such thing. You
No.
always got to be on your toes.
Yeah, but no. So the topic at hand, the topic for today is being judgmental. And I know a lot of people, they're like, ooh, that's something that needs to be talked about because just a lot of stuff going on that, the topic just in our everyday lives as well. So what is your views on, first of all, judging, right? What are
Hmm.
your views as far as your definition of judging? Like, yeah, judging.
Well, I think it is people judging in the most simplistic term is expressing what it is that you observe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Expressing what it is that you observe. But sometimes when it comes to being judgmental, meaning that you have bad timing about it. You know what I'm saying? And it's meaning that you have bad boundaries about it. Everything don't need to be said. Sometimes you just need to keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you may feel some or whatever, but once you start getting judgmental, it means that you began to express it in a way that could be offsetting to whoever may be around or whoever the person is that you're passing judgment on. And
Yeah.
I think it's something that everybody that is something that brings all humans together because we are all guilty of it. At
Yeah.
some point in time, you've been judgmental.
Yeah.
But as you begin to know better, it is important that you do better.
Yeah. Definitely. I think I think more so now. So if people tell stories, I'm gonna say tell stories. I'm still young at heart. Like you tell stories instead of saying lie. People tell stories and say, "No, I never judge anybody." I'm like, come on now. Like, but a
Yeah.
lot of people they have this notion like, no, I don't judge people. I don't, I'm like, but it's always in a negative when you do talk about them. For example, I want to talk about Sierra, right? Her dress.
Hmm.
Facebook, I know on my end, Facebook was like, dang, dang. Every post was like her dress, her husband. Why her husband make her have a, not make her, but why did her husband allow her to wear that? And so it was just so many things. So, of course, I dropped in the flyer of the live today. I'm like, hey, let me drop this on down here for you.
Uh-huh.
Because it was a lot of judgmentals, as far people can have an opinion, and that's a difference, right?
Yeah,
People
it's
can have
right there. Yeah, it's definitely different.
right.
Yeah,
Everybody has an opinion, but it's like when it start going left,
yeah,
and there's a negative tone or a statement, then that's when we come into uh
yeah,
to that. So
yeah,
yeah, no, I
yeah.
don't know.
That's something I heard about this week. I ain't gonna lie to you though. You know, by and large, I try to stay out of people's business just in general, unless I'm getting paid to do it. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So I stay out of people's marriages unless I'm paid to be a part of it. What people are into, I just stay out of it.
yeah,
All people in general, but especially rich folk.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I
yeah,
don't know what they into. You know what I'm saying? That's that woman business.
yeah,
It's not for me. And
yeah,
I got my own problems. I got enough problems. I got enough issues. So I can't imagine me taking my time to speak on what a celebrity is wearing or what they should be wearing and how her husband may be feeling. I got my own stuff going on.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know, because my opinion, number one, is not going to reach them. I can pretty much guarantee that. So I'm not going to spend all that time doing it. But people do it because that's what social media is. Social media essentially I was telling my homegirl the other day on the live, social media is literally, especially for us folk,
mm-hmm.
it is literally a giant barbershop or a giant beauty
Mm-hmm.
salon where everybody has an opinion.
That's good.
Everybody gets to be able to say what it is they want to say about whoever or whatever the case is. That's what it is. So some people, they get so caught up in this world that we live in social media that anything that comes down their timeline, they're gonna have something to say about it.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, this young lady Sierra, you don't. look here. I mean, people gonna think whatever they gonna think, but you don't get to her, her net worth being a dummy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that she got an album coming out, the fact that she know that people,
Yeah.
don't want to deal with their own problems, and
Yeah.
so they will anytime that they can get distracted to kind of talk about somebody else's, that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
She understands that whole game. It's all psychology.
Yeah.
Let that woman be whoever she gonna be.
Yeah.
Wear
Yeah.
whatever she gonna wear.
Yeah.
Her business.
Well, people don't know how to mind their own business,
Yeah,
and
people don't.
they don't. They just and because they don't have no business of their own. That's another
Or
thing.
they just don't like to attend to it. They don't like
Yeah.
to attend to the business that they
Come
got.
on. You in
Because
the
there's a
book
whole lot
now.
of things. There's a whole lot of things you can focus on now.
Yeah. You're right. You're
Out of
absolutely
all
right.
the things you got going on in your life, you decide that you're gonna give this time to a complete stranger
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
will not hear or even care what you have to say. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And which falls into why do you think that people judge other people?
I think part of it sometimes it can just be I hate to use such a broad general statement like human nature, but sometimes it is a little bit like we get accustomed to it. It's one of the things that we never unlearn.
Mm-hmm.
Even as little kids, we look at kids like if a you in preschool and one kid has I don't know, doesn't draw as good as another kid, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's gonna be like, that doesn't look good because we're so outwardly, we're gonna express what it is. But as you develop, what I'm saying, intellect like you are supposed to do in school, you should also develop emotional intelligence as well, where you should learn that, not everything needs to be talked about, but some people don't hit that maturation. Some people don't hit that side of the coin. They never get exposed to that. So I think a lot of it is enhanced by just as a learned behavior, so to say.
Mm-hmm.
Where you might come in a household where that's what y'all do. You're gonna talk about people, you're gonna do that, that's what it is. And so you carry on what it is that you've learned at home and you carry that on into the real world. But it's a dangerous thing though.
Yeah.
It's a very, very dangerous thing because a lot of people don't know how dangerous it is to be judgmental to somebody. Because some people, especially in your early teen years, your preteen years, and stuff like that, a lot of the kids that are judged, sometimes they never recover.
Yeah.
Even in adulthood, they never recover from that.
Yeah.
Young boy was told he was ugly, he stank, whatever the case is. That did a number on him.
Yeah.
He's never been able to recover.
Yeah.
Or some, what I'm saying, because what happens is that when people feel as though they're being judged a lot, sometimes it may cause them to implode, where they might end up having depression or something like that. And of
Right.
course, that leads them to maybe engaging in different forms of self-harm, things like that, or it causes some people to explode. Where now
Mhm.
when they get to a point, they can't take it no more because they feel as though they have been socially, you know, been like ostracized. Now they take it out on everybody. That's how you have some of these terroristic acts in some cases
Yeah.
occur. People
Yeah.
feel like they kind of like on the island all alone. They like, nah, y'all gonna feel my pain. Then you
Yeah.
have other people, for instance, a lot of us don't like the police or whatever for one reason or another. That's people's preference and their business. I'm not here to get into politics, but what
Yeah.
happens is, believe it or not, that kid that some of them that used to get picked on the playground and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he didn't
Mm-hmm.
got his weight up. He
Yeah.
didn't got his weight up to just enough for him to
Yeah.
get a badge.
Yeah.
Now he is
Yeah.
can't
He's
wait to go. He can't wait to go to work every day,
yeah.
hoping that he
Absolutely.
bump into them kids that was being mean. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You're
Like
right.
it happens. So you got to be careful with judgment.
Yeah. Definitely. I think more so with people judging other people, and I kind of like did a question of that on my page, and a lot of people, I'm gonna read what some of the people were saying
Uh-huh.
on there, and I asked the question, how do you feel about judgmental people, and what are some of the example of people being judgmental, and how did they make you feel? And so Miss Crystal stated, I think judgmental people really have a lot about self that they're dissatisfied with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, Another one makes Miss Rowland. She asked. She said that makes me reflect on whether or not I've been judgmental. Check myself first. Then, if I have to see the person regularly, I ask for help to see if they need help. look at it from a different perspective or angle. And I hope someone would do that for me, right? And so a lot of people, another person, they said, well, to me, when she's talking about her marriage, when they're not, people judge people because of, as far as like if they're married or if they're not married, because people have an opinion about that. Well, why your husband didn't do this, or why your husband, like, just really openly talk about it. And she said, when they're not married but want to tell you how to deal with your husband, never have nothing good to say, but their life isn't perfect, and always judging your marriage. So yeah, so I mean, people, yeah, they did, they answered it. They answered why
Mhm.
people, as far as like being judgmental, and it is a thing, and
It's very much a thing.
I
But
think
what she
that
said was spot on.
yeah,
The first
yeah,
person that's very true when it comes
yeah,
to uh, you know, people having their own insecurities in a way.
yeah,
You know, you ain't gonna never see a Porsche driver ain't never finna laugh at nobody in a Pontiac.
yep,
The Porsche driver ain't doing that because he
yeah,
thinking like, what I'm gonna laugh at somebody. I'm blessed. Gonna make no somebody in the Pathfinder, somebody in the Camry, somebody in the truck. They might, a little bit, but
yeah,
somebody, they like, nah, man.
yeah,
When you
yeah,
recognize you've been blessed and you accept the fact that you've been blessed and you done been through something, you've been humbled enough times in your life. That tones down that being so quick to pass judgment.
Do you think people that are being judgmental, are there, is it like about safety? Because the people don't want, like, like more of a safety net, like as far as, you don't want people to know what you got going on or want to be exposed. So
In,
I
in, cer- in certain cases,
yeah,
in certain cases, definitely. I don't know if that's necessarily. I don't ever like to generalize too much because I'm not able to do any qualitative or quantitative data on it, but I do believe that is a component.
mhm,
In addition to just people just insecurity just in general and ignorance, and
yeah,
not ignorance in the standpoint that you're in a derogatory way, like saying anybody that does that is dumb. But a lot of times, I'm just saying from ignorance, from the standpoint where you lack knowledge,
yeah,
you lack the ability to engage in critical thinking.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I mean? It goes back to the old saying: you never judge a book by its cover. But we have a habit
yeah,
of doing it all the time.
yeah. I think, yeah, a lot of times, because like, even with like with people's body, right? Like, oh, she knows she shouldn't have that on, or or if it's a constant. I know someone that constantly talk about somebody's weight, constantly,
Mm.
constantly, and it kind of like was like, please stop. Like every time something is coming out, you talking about somebody's weight. Okay, so if they want to lose weight, let them lose weight. What about you? And I think
Mhm.
we so, like you said, we don't mind our own business, but like, you don't know how that person feel, or because our looks can say words too. And even if we're not like verbally saying it, but like the shady stuff, and like, like, well, it couldn't have been me. That when people say that, I just like, it grinds my gears, like to the 10th power. But I think more so just being, like you said, emotionally intelligent enough to be aware of when you're feeling like you're being, like, if you're being judgmental or you're in
Yeah.
people's business. It got to be a thin,
Hmm.
thin line. But I don't think that people are aware of that, because they sometimes tend to um focus on, like, well, like what I was talking about with the safety net, right? Is to see if, as far as like with safety, when it comes like, okay, I'm the better person. Like, you feel like in a judgmental person, and in their mind, well, I'm not worse off in their situation, or I'm a little bit better because I'm not going through that. And I think that's what generalize is not like. I feel as though it's like, it's just so much safety in that, because it's like always pointing the finger, pointing the finger, instead of pointing the finger to ourselves. And I think if we get in touch with ourselves and be more aware of our own, you know, um, insecurities and our own, you know, shortcomings, because we all do have that. And then I think we'll be a better place. Like, I mean, our mindset will be a totally a lot better, a lot better.
Definitely. definitely. You kind of just hinted towards, um, you know, our experience as Black people in America, where you
Mhm,
have for quite some time. I mean, talking about 400 years, where
mhm,
a lot of there's been a lot of false sense of superiority, and also which
mhm.
has also created a false sense of inferiority, where
Yeah,
you have poor people, say maybe poor white people that have always thought that they were better than blacks, no matter how well, no matter how well a black person, because you
yeah,
knowing good and well, well, look, we're in different phases in life, but at least it comes back to what you're saying. Well, at least I'm not, or at least I'm not that. That's been a ongoing thing, but it's really a false sense of superiority by a lot of people when they talk about, well, at least I'm not that. That doesn't give you a right to
yeah,
be, disrespectful to anybody. And a lot of it is not just, it's not just an indictment on the fact that one lacks emotional intelligence, but it's also evidence that you lack impulse control. Because as I said before,
mhm,
everything don't need to be said. You can think
mhm.
what you want, but keep it to yourself.
Yeah,
Why are you going out of your way,
yeah, yeah,
to emotionally injure somebody else? Why do that?
yeah, yeah, definitely. So how do you deal with people that are judgmental?
Uh, well, when it occurs, anytime I'm able to provide any type of insight or just perspective, I definitely do that. I say, well, I want you to. How about we look at it like this? If I'm able to, if not, sometimes I pray for them because I know something's wrong. I know
Mhm.
something's wrong. I'm like, man, you see somebody out here struggling. The only thing you can
Yeah,
do is pass judgment. You don't want to help or anything like that. That's not your first inclination is to just to be mean or say something rude or something like that. So they need prayer too. And
yeah,
I do that. Other than that, I just I try to make sure that I'm mindful each and every day, not to engage in passing too much judgment
yeah,
on people. Let people be who they are. I don't know nobody's story.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know people's story to know. I it just and again, it comes down to critical thinking again. I
yeah,
may know what it is that you have that you got going on, but I don't know the why. I
yeah,
don't know why. So it would be, irresponsible for me to just pass judgment on somebody. And that's why I try not to stereotype. I try not, just trying to be mindful because you never know somebody's story.
yeah.
One of my favorite quotes comes from I believe it was Stephen Schwartz from, he wrote the lyrics to a Disney movie back in the 90s, Pocahontas, the song
Okay.
Colors of the Wind.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
of the one of the most profound lyrics, and then one of my favorite quotes of all time. He says, "If you walk the footsteps of a stranger, you'll learn things you never knew. You never knew." And I kind of stand by that. I really,
mhm,
really stand by that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what people be going on. If you ain't never stepped in their shoes, stop that. Don't do that. You got to
yeah,
really focus on you. The energy that you're spending worried about other people are passing judgment on other people could really go towards you.
yeah,
That credit score ain't gonna go up by you talking about other people.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you ain't
Listen,
gonna do. You ain't
I
gonna.
need to go. I would need mine to go up a little bit more.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But like, get
No,
to focus on you. Get better.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think when we focus on ourselves, like everything else fall into place. I think
Yeah, everything will fall
more
into place.
9 times out of 10, like a lot of people be miserable too. You know what I'm saying? Because
Oh, you better believe it.
it's heavy.
And it
And
loves
like,
company.
oh man. And it's like I like when someone is being judgmental, I have a tendency now. Um one of my sissies, I call her my sissy. She was like, "Don't be Shakaren." Like, oh no, don't do that. Now I'm coming into Shakiki, right? When it comes to certain things, because it's like, okay, like because it's more annoying than anything. It's like, come on, like,
Mhm.
why are we doing that? And so it's like, okay, I'm gonna have to call this out. Oh well, in having an educational moment. Give them an educational moment. Like, listen, this is this, that is that. You know, I think you shouldn't do that. but yeah, I think you shouldn't. I think you shouldn't do this or that, and leave it at that. If they don't
Hmm.
like it, they don't like it. A lot of people don't like constructive criticism either. Especially when you tell them the truth.
Hmm.
So yeah, so that's pretty okay. Here going Patrice recently told my 12-year-old to not shy away from the human nature of judging because by definition is mere forming an opinion, which we all have entitled to. Okay, okay, yeah. And it's, I mean, you're right. We all have an opinion, long as it doesn't like go into the direction of being in the
Yeah,
negative.
it doesn't need to be anything negative. I think, like I
Yeah,
said, I think it's something that we all do. But if we're talking about judgment within the realm of negativity, that's you gotta you just I always think you want to be careful with that
yeah, yeah,
because it really
definitely.
does it impacts people uh more than people even realize, and it keeps people also from wanting to even be around you. If you're a person that is
Yeah,
judgmental, people will slowly but surely stop. They're going to find a way to kind of distance themselves because it
yeah,
just doesn't sit right with the spirit. A
yeah.
lot of people that are judgmental sometimes, unfortunately, as if you live, you do get old. But you
Mhm.
see people up in them nursing homes. It'd be a 5-star nursing home, and they ain't had one visitor.
Not one. Listen.
Yeah, all
Yep.
because the way you treat people. Way you
Yeah.
treat people, man.
Yeah.
If you're
Definitely.
gonna judge somebody, if you're gonna make, and see, I believe like within the realm of, just to be clear with what we're talking about as far as judgment, we're talking about it within the negative
Yeah.
aspect.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
there's a difference between a judge passing judgment and then making an assessment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a difference.
I think it's two totally different things.
Yeah.
But to speak on, sometimes you gotta know when to hold and when to fold. What I'm saying?
Mhm.
Everything doesn't need to be spoke upon. And like I said, especially when it comes to the youth, I know she said she had a 12-year-old. Right around that age, that is huge, man.
Yeah.
I've seen
Yeah.
how people aren't able to shake the ridicule and the criticism that they saw at 12, and
Yeah.
now it still impacts them at 36. They still
Yeah.
got their head down. Never felt accepted.
Yeah. Oh, she said, I tell her to be mindful of her responses to her opinion because it really doesn't carry any weight. Okay. 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 All right, sissy. Oh, someone said amen to the nursing home comment. Yeah.
No, it's a fact. I'm telling you, a lot of them people don't realize. They be like, "Dang, Mister Charles, you
Yeah.
got all this money and everything, and no
Don't got
visitors, no visitors."
yeah.
And they
None
wonder why.
whatsoever.
What's the reason behind that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, a question. How do you relate like um a healthy judgment?
Oh, I think that's something. That's what honesty is, and that's all about. Now, what not so much what you say, but also sometimes how you say it. Like if
Hmm.
somebody is doing something, you're making a healthy assessment, and you're saying based on what I'm seeing or whatever the case is, let's try to do this. Don't get to pointing and telling. Don't kick
Yeah.
a person that's crawling.
Yeah. That's
So when you
definitely it.
have family and friends, because you don't like that, but if you have family and friends, if somebody's really really they love you, they're gonna do whatever it is to help you. And sometimes you hear about tough love, but there's I don't know about how different people interpret that different ways.
Yeah. They do.
I don't think telling somebody shut the you ain't finna be what I'm saying, I
Hmm.
don't that's I there's no love in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. No, it's
when you
not.
when
No,
you
not
talk to
at
people
all.
like that, they're gonna remember. Like they don't
Yeah.
forget. People
Yeah.
don't forget. That's the one of the most amazing things about human beings is that people don't forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
They'll make you might forget what you've done to somebody or whatever, or what you said. People don't forget it though.
No. And not how you made them feel.
They'll never forget how you made them
Never.
feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
'Cause-
passing judgment within a negative way, like don't continue to point out my problem if you don't have a solution of some sort.
right. Help me.
Yeah,
Help
help
me.
me.
Help
Otherwise
me.
you're just hurting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely, especially for like people that don't apologize. That is like especially if you're acknowledging, what's going on or what has happened, and they don't apologize, and then it's kind of like, well, you shouldn't have da, da, da. I'm just like, then it's kind of like an ongoing thing, a ripple effect, and then it's like, you just never know. So no, just say that. And I was gonna say, I found the article where it says call them out directly, and some of the catchphrases, your opinion about whatever it is made me feel hurt, angry, sad. Well, I didn't like how how you said it. I don't appreciate you gossiping about whatever it is. I don't feel safe talking about the topic right now. Or
Mhm.
it said I am not going to participate in talking badly about yada yada
Mhm.
yada. And I think that's a most respectful way to say it. Like, hey, not it ain't the time, not the place right now. So yeah,
Those are good solutions, but everybody has a different experience. So sometimes
right,
those solutions are very difficult to implement
yeah,
depending on what you got going on. And
right,
again, when it comes to like we talk about youth and stuff like that, man, people
yeah,
don't know. People
yeah,
really don't know what people go through. So that's
yeah,
why it's another reason. Just be mindful not to just, you if you don't know their story, you don't know what they've encountered. You don't and anybody that's been through trauma, which
yeah,
is a lot of people that look like us in the United States of America. I
yeah,
don't care if you're talking about from Kalamazoo to Timbuktu
yeah,
and all points in between around the world. People that look like us, many of us have been traumatized.
yeah,
And that trauma does a number on you.
yeah,
You'd be amazing. So you see somebody out there doing something that you think is crazy or not making sense or whatever. A lot of times, sometimes it's not just that they are a bad person or they lack good judgment. Well, sometimes they traumatized,
yeah, yeah,
and as a result, they're doing things that you may find yourself looking down upon
yeah,
until you find out the why. Remember, we talk about the what. What
yeah,
is very much on the surface. You see what somebody's doing, but unless you know the why, it's
yeah,
really best not to put your 2 cents in. Keep it to
yeah,
yourself.
yeah. Someone asks, how do you accept judgment that can be helpful, be helpful, but the delivery wasn't the best?
That happens a lot within our community.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, uh, you know, if for instance somebody might, we'll go back to high school. Somebody might, might stink, in front of the lunchroom. Mother, you stink in front of
hmm,
everybody. That's gonna
yeah,
have that's gonna have some unreal consequences. So that's not gonna do that person any good. That's gonna be very very embarrassing and a
yeah,
great deal of shame. Versus you can pull somebody to the side. Hey, yeah, just giving you heads up. What something totally different.
yeah,
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 so it's not, something, and that's just, it didn't, in both cases, the person obviously wasn't, smelling the best, but
yeah,
it's just the
yeah,
way you went about, expressing,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So,
yeah,
yeah,
no,
so
it's
you can't, I mean, when it comes to things, and I think for anybody listening, I think some of the things, people have various scenarios that they would like to present to you. Each one is gonna have, different outcomes.
yeah, definitely. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
That's
Like
how you
that's
say it. You
that's
better
what grandma
believe it.
said. Grandma
Yeah.
told me that, and I really didn't
Yeah,
get it until I start interacting with people. And I try to be. I'm not perfect, right? None of us are perfect, but I try to be easy with people because I just never know, right?
yeah,
And I think the more we extend grace and extend kindness to people, I think that will make, not I can't say the world a better place, but make, in your community, your village, wherever
yeah,
reside, a little bit better, along
exactly,
the way. Because it's like we have to just learn how to speak to people, like talk to
exactly.
people.
Yeah,
Because a lot of that, and also creating that safe space, because a lot of people are not gonna tell they go through stuff, until, like, they don't tell you that they're going through stuff unless you speak about it. Just say, for instance, we're in a setting, a group setting. I was Yesterday I went to a women's conference, and they talked about certain things, and kind of like everybody opened up because it was a safe space, right? And they talk about it, and it was a non-judgmental zone. and everybody felt comfortable enough to, share. And then you kind of connected with people. Oh, you went through that? Okay, well, tell me about your experience. Things like that. So it's kind of like, people are so guarded and so, so guarded and suspicious of people because of, what society, what people, what has been done, not trusting
Mm-hmm.
enough. And that's the reason why, people don't want to tell their story. And some of our stories can heal somebody else. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, it's just the ongoing thing that we have to, like you said, unlearn to learn again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for us again as a people, we're very unique because some of our judgment just doesn't come with emotional
Mm-hmm.
uh damage. Man, it can come with physical damage depending
Yeah.
on where you are, what kind of city you live in. A lot of
Yeah.
times kids are raised a certain way to be like, nah, I don't want to be a part of nothing that's going to be negative. But
Yeah.
shoot, you got to deal with people that's putting pressure on you every day.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be considered to be a punk. I don't want to be considered to be this or that. But that peer pressure
Yeah.
is stems from the roots of judgment, and
Yeah.
that's what causes a lot of good people to go left because of that fear of being
Yeah.
judged. I don't want to be looked at as a, you know. And so
Mm-hmm.
now you done got yourself in a situation where you finna sit down
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
And it's all because you didn't have the, what I'm saying, you were scared to be judged.
Yeah. 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 Um, she said, my dad used to say, if you're too focused on the messenger, I don't got my glasses on, I ain't got no contacts on, no nothing, y'all. Sorry. If you're too focused on the messenger, you miss the message. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. But yeah, it's rough out here. Life be lifing. And
A
so
life on life for sure. But
with
you can't,
that,
but you can't save everybody. You can't help necessarily everybody, but those that you do have access to help, you
yeah,
definitely do it. If you can show them a better way,
yeah,
it's good. Like I believe in financial literacy is a great thing, but emotional literacy is great too.
yeah, that's
And it's
good.
a lot of us that don't, that really, really need that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And sometimes they never had that, childhood, like adverse childhood experiences.
Yes.
Like you said in the beginning, growing up, that's probably what all they know.
Yeah, what
That's
they
all they
know.
know.
It's part of it. And,
Yeah,
it's hard to unlearn something. That's
yeah,
your first language.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So, do you have any final words for the people?
No, I just, I appreciate you having me on, picking my brain, whatever, and just chopping it up with me. Anytime you want to do it, I'm always, I enjoy doing stuff like this. Um, let's see here. Anybody out there listening, if you're going through anything, don't hesitate in talking to nobody.
Yeah,
And a lot of times people are hesitant to talk to people because they feel as though, it's hard to trust people, but find somebody out there or find, a group or whatever the case is that you can trust
yeah,
to talk about them. You don't have to suffer in silence, and you definitely don't have to suffer alone. There's people out there that can, help you. And whatever it is that you want, hey, don't let nobody steer you in the wrong direction. Go get it.
yeah,
It's been a lot. I've seen a lot of things in my life. I've seen a whole lot of things. I ain't never seen a casket made for two though. So
yeah,
because of that, you gotta live, man. Do
yeah,
what you've been called to do and do it well. Regardless of what anybody else say. Granny don't believe in it, uncle don't believe in it, mama may not see it. That's all right. It ain't their vision, it's yours.
yeah.
So trust your gut and go for it.
Absolutely. How can everybody find you? Find you on social
Shoot.
media.
You know what? I forget my. Let me see here. Let me look at my phone. I'm just. I ain't gonna.
EJ,
I ain't gonna.
wait a minute now.
Nah, no cap. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I'm just now, like about a year. I've been kind of like getting back into social media, so I be
Okay.
forgetting.
Okay,
So
it's
on,
okay.
on Instagram, I don't know if should I put it in the chat or something.
I can put it in the chat for you. I can put it in
Yeah.
there for you
On
because
Instagram is Eric underscore Warren Jr.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. I got you.
And then
I got you.
on Facebook, I got to get this together. Stop laughing at me.
I'm
See,
not.
you look
Listen,
at you judging. Look at you.
no, I
See,
ain't
the
judging.
whole
No, no. If you
thing.
need me to help you, I'll help you
Nah, I'm not.
now.
You know, I'm joking. And then on Facebook, just EJ Warren. Any of them platforms, you can look at EJ Warren, and you probably see it.
Junior, right?
Just EJ Warren. Yeah.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. All
Yeah.
right. Yeah, all on Instagram. Everybody follow him. Follow, follow, follow. He gives some
Yeah.
golden nuggets every day. You know, when I pop in, well, when I start scrolling and I see him, I'm like, oh, all right. I call him, I said Eric, but everybody
Yeah.
calls him
Eric, whatever, whichever is easier for y'all. Most folks know
EJ.
me as EJ, but Eric is
EJ.
cool too. Whatever works.
Yeah, so everybody follow him on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Let's support. Get those followers up. He be dropping mad like jewels and gems and nuggets. I'd be like, I didn't even think about it that way. Oh, okay then. Let me put a little
Oh,
nugget.
I'm glad it's hitting you that way because that's my
Yeah,
number one goal. I just be wanting people to think it from a different point of view. That's it.
yeah, definitely. You dope and amazing. So it's all
I
good.
appreciate it. Same thing. You the same. You were
Thank
definitely the
you.
same.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So everybody tune in next week. Oh, I do got an announcement. Look. Okay. So I do got some announcement. Okay, I got tea for sale. I'm the tea lady, right? I got tea. It's on the website, www.socialworksundaytea.com. But also the big announcement is we are having our adult prom and fundraiser September 30th, 2023. So that's on the website. That is gonna be it's live. You can buy the tickets. The tickets are $95. The early bird special $95. You get all the things, special things that's coming up for prom. So I want everybody to support. So we're giving to a nonprofit organization here in Chicago, especially on the west side in the Austin community, because I'm from the Austin area, born and raised in the Austin area. So I want to give back. So I'm a for-profit giving to a nonprofit. So I want to be a blessing to the organization. I'll be posting the organization soon. But yes, it is September 30th. So I want everybody to, if y'all want to flew you out, come on, fly out to Chicago. And yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Last year was the bomb. This year is dope. It's gonna be even
Super
doper.
dope. You from my absolute favorite city.
Really? Well, come
Cold
on.
Shy. The
Get
Shy.
the chicken.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Beautiful city.
Yeah, you should come. You should come to the prom too. Whenever you want to come, just
Okay.
give me.
Yeah. I'll definitely look into that.
Yeah, and I have more details as far as for the following weeks to come because it's gonna be dope.
Okay.
It's gonna be amazing. Like I really got blessed. Oh, I came up on the lick. If everybody want to talk about that, but yeah, it's really it's gonna be well to do. It's gonna be well put together, all that good stuff. So I want everybody to support. So yeah, until
Okay.
next time, thank you, EJ, so much. I really
Appreciate you.
appreciate
Much
you.
love. Much
Bless you,
love.
bless you. And see you guys on next week. It's gonna be amazing. So see you.